Like I said in my, in my statement that we released, mentally and physically, I'm just done. And I've pitched this season, knowing that this was going to be it. And it's been a long, hard year. And I can't be happier with my decision.
Well, Yankee fans aren't too thrilled. Andy Pettitte announces his retirement a little bit earlier today, but there's still time for baseball tonight as the Yes Network presents New York Yankees baseball. It's the New York Yankees against the San Francisco Giants in the first game of a three-game set from Yankee Stadium in the Bronx, New York. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Yankees baseball, along with Paul O'Neill and Al Leiter. I'm Michael Kay. We'll talk about how big a game this is for the Yankees. They're running out of time, but the big story today, obviously, is Andy Pettitte announcing his retirement, and he said he's done. How does a player know he's done?
Well, I think he said he really hit the nail on the head when he said, I'm mentally finished. I mean, he's had a year. He's had a great career. He's been a great teammate to a lot of people and an unbelievable person for this organization. But he knows his career is over.
His career is over, and it's a great career. He's going to start on Sunday, then one more time in Houston, and that will do it. Al, you matched up against him in some big, high-profile games.
I did, Michael. You know, and I think about it. I know, Paul, you played many years with him. Good guy. You don't hear bad thing about him, and I think about guys that compete, and that's what goes down for me. When you faced a guy like Andy Pettitte, and I did in the World Series in Game 1 and the game that they clinched in 2000, the guy battled. And that's what you ask for, you hope for as a teammate and a guy behind you. He fought all the way, didn't have the greatest stuff, even admit to it, but boy, what a great career he had.
He had a great career and 2 more games to go, and they've got some pitchers tonight as well. Let's take a look at the New York Lottery pitching matchup. Tim Lincecum is going to go for the Giants. Not having a good year. CC Sabathia, Al, he's not having a good year either.
No, I'd say that's a fair statement, Michael. I mean, the 13 losses a career high, and his last start in Boston, look, it walks. I mean, we could dissect it. We'll talk about it tonight, Paul and I, I'm sure. When your velocity's down as a pitcher, I'll just single on that you don't have the conviction or trust in your pitches. Start nibble a little bit, you get behind, as he did many of these at-bats here, gave up a lot of runs, 13th loss, as I said, and it just seems like he's kind of worn and not really trusting his stuff.
Well, big start for him tonight. The Yankees have to win games. Andy Pettitte won a lot of games for the Yankees in his career. He's the oldest starter in baseball, and today he officially called it quits. Meredith Morakovitz will hear from some of his teammates. They'll talk about Andy when we get back right here on Yes.
And set to get underway in just a little bit. Hey everyone, I'm Meredith Morakovitz. As you heard from Michael Kay and the guys just a few minutes ago, big news of the day is the fact that Andy Pettitte will retire after the 2013 season. I had the opportunity to catch up with some of his teammates earlier today who weighed in on the news.
He's going to be missed. I mean, he's really going to be missed here. He's been a great teammate on and off the field, and I guess we all knew at some point it was going to come to an end, and I guess him and Mo are going to go out together.
What will you remember most about him?
I mean, oh my God, the passion and the love that he has for the game. Every time that he make a mistake, you see him talking to himself like he's talking to another person. you know, and great guy to play with.
It's fun watching him beat himself up because he expects to be perfect. I mean, nobody's perfect, but he has those expectations, and that's the reason why he's had so much success over the years.
There's no question Andy Pettitte has left quite the legacy in pinstripes. He will certainly be missed on the mound. Michael Kay, Paul O'Neill, and Al Light are coming back next with lineups First Pitch Baseball right here on Yes.
Baseball on Yes is brought to you in part by your tri-state area Volkswagen dealers. Visit VWDealer.com. By New York Yankees premium frozen pizza available at King Cullen, Western Beef, Christini's, and your local grocer. And by Dodge. Visit Dodge.com or your local dealer today. Beautiful night here in the Bronx as the Yankees play a game that they have to have. They only have 9 games remaining, and they've dug themselves quite a hole after losing 2 of their last 3 in Toronto. So CC Sabathia is on the mound, and we'll take a look at the Giants starting lineup that he's going to face. Giants, the defending champions, are 71-82, and they lead off Joaquin Arias. He is their second baseman. Batting second and playing center field is Juan Perez. First baseman is Brandon Belt-Hill at third. The DH Buster Posey cleans up. Batting fifth, playing right field, Hunter Pence. Pablo Sandoval, the third baseman, will bat sixth. The number 7 hitter is the catcher Hector Sanchez. The left fielder Brett Pill will bat eighth, batting ninth, and playing shortstop, Brandon Crawford.
CC Sabathia, 33-year-old left-hander, be making his 32nd start tonight. Numbers not CC-like. I think that's fair enough. One of the best pitchers in the game. That 4.9 ERA is not what he's done in the past. 13-13. You see the batting average against up a bit. Not a CC year.
Arias is ready, so is CC, and let's do it here in the Bronx. And the first pitch is inside, and we are underway.
I got a big question here. When did this? I got high def now. I no longer have an analog monitor that they used to throw at me.
That's
I got
right.
a high def monitor here.
New telestrator for you, yeah. Well, you've been away a while, so we had a time to build it.
That is nice. Yeah. HD quality up here.
It has been a while, huh, Paul?
Count 1-1. And the pitch.
Well, let's take a look at the pitcher scatter report brought to you by your Tri-Honda dealers. Too many base runners. How about this? He's given up 111 runs, the most for any starter in Major League Baseball. Not good. Innings. I mean, you talk about a guy that has just pitched a lot of innings over the years at CC Sabathia. And pitched with conviction. You know, when a pitcher like CC, who once upon a time threw 96, 97 miles an hour, and now his average velocity is down. This year it's 91.1. You stop believing a little bit. You know, you get the fastball away, and you just don't have that same conviction. And when CC, even at 91, 92, when he's hitting his spots, he's tough to hit.
Foul back.
Once upon a time. Didn't we all do something a little better once upon a time?
Isn't that fair, right?
Yeah.
At 33 years old. But here, how about this, Paulie? 2008 average fastball 94.2, and I won't bore you with every year, but down to 91. That's pretty significant.
So the only thing is, when you lose that much on your fastball, you also lose it on your breaking ball. There's not as much, difference in your fastball, so it trickles down to all your other pitches. And as a hitter, when you know the guy's not going to throw the ball by you, you don't have to, you don't have to just gauge everything off that fastball.
Rookie catcher J.R. Murphy gives the sign. And it's a swing and a miss as Arias goes down on strikes.
Good changeup there, and you see the movement of that is what makes that pitch. I mean, when you miss with a changeup, you want it to bottom of the zone, end up in the dirt. Frustrating pitch for a hitter because it just dives in the dirt.
Yeah, this is the pitch that Paul's talking about, changeup down the way. But this, Paul, you're a great hitter, and the respect or honor that you have to have for a guy that throws 95 or better, as CC had done. I'm not saying that he can't make the transition, but it is more difficult for a guy that did throw harder than those who just pitched in the big leagues with what CC's throwing now. Because at 91, 92, as a left-hander, that's as good as most lefties. The velocities that I was talking about in the scatter report, that's significant, folks. I mean, you might think, oh, it's only a couple miles an hour. That's the average velocity. So the max out in 09 when he first got to the Yankees, you'd see a lot of 96, 97s at times. You see, I played with a lot of guys that, that weren't able to make the transition to pitch when you lose that velocity. Hopefully CC will have a good winter and strengthen his arm and do all the things to get back, because 33 to me is not old.
Popped up. Murphy gives it a look, and it's out of play. CC's thrown a lot of innings, and that's one thing that he has going for him. Hey, Tim Lincecum, a former Cy Young Award winner, nowhere near the same pitcher.
Same boat. Same boat.
And guys, you could not as much as CC Sabathia workload, but very similar, Paul, as you said.
That one is drilled to left field. Going back, Soriano, track, wall, leaps. He can't make the play. It's off the wall. Backing him up is Granderson, and stopping at second is Perez with a double. Very close to a home run.
I'll tell you what, the sound of the bat, now you got to think this ball's in the seats, and all of a sudden it ends up. Soriano has an opportunity to catch this ball, goes off the top of the wall. Looks like he really just centered this up high, just a hanging slider, just gets hammered. Sorry got a little lost. He didn't get back to the wall. You need to sprint to the wall and then find the ball. You start, you see him look down there. You start expecting that wall to hit you. He actually had a little room, but the ball beat him to the wall.
And that was on Yes Mo, brought to you by your Mercedes-Benz Tri-State dealers. Brandon Belt takes the ball 1-0. Since August 1st, one of baseball's best hitters, hitting .358.
I used to like to look at lineups and see a guy 3-4 that was a lefty, knowing if you made really good pitches, you could take care of him because he's a left-handed hitter.
Yeah, I mean, but immediately when you say that, I think of Big Papi Manny Ramirez for all those years. I mean, the complement of your 3-4 hitter, generally you have some pretty good protection behind him. Here with Buster Posey as their fourth hitter, it's some protection, but not like those years. Well, you were three. Who was your protection?
Bernie. I mean, he was a switch hitter,
yeah,
so
right.
you could just pick your poison with him because he was pretty much average from good average from both sides.
Kind of a wave there by Belt, 1-2.
That's a tough pitch. And you look at the velocity, 92, but the movement on that, two seam back in on the hands. This was the toughest pitch for a lefty. You kind of lose sight of it, and you just can't handle it.
For every good left-hander that dominates, they execute that pitch because it opens up this slider down the way. So the textbook of being able to do it. But, Paul, if you knew a guy couldn't throw the fastball in for a strike, it really enabled you to stay in there a little longer and look middle away.
Sure.
Because of the breaking ball and pitches that generally left-handers to get lefties out would be somewhere going down and away.
2-2. 3-2. On deck, Buster Posey. Yankees have a faint pulse in their postseason pursuit. The Giants have been out of it forever. Just a terrible season for the defending champions. 3-2. Broken bat looper in the center field. It's a base hit. Perez went back to second, so he can only advance to third. A single for Belt. First and third, one man out. Let's check out the Yankees defense, which is presented by Geico. In the outfit, we've seen Soriano already. Granderson's in center, Ichiro in right. Infield, it's Nunez, Ryan, Cano, and Overbay, third to first. The rookie J.R. Murphy behind the plate. And Karsten Charles Sabathia is on the mound.
Tell you what, you don't think this is a good piece of hitting. It's a great piece of hitting because he got busted in. He saw sliders away, but he didn't open up, and he didn't cheat on that ball. Stayed through it, got jammed. But this is a good piece of hitting, especially with 2 strikes off a lefty. Just enough to loop it into the outfield.
First and third, one out. And the pitch to Buster Posey is low. Posey hitting .300 despite being in the middle of a 1-for-21 slump. Giants just played the Mets at Citi Field for 3 games. They got here on Monday, so nice little New York vacation.
A tough wife's trip, wasn't it? Wives to New York
for
a
6
week.
days.
Bochy, probably one of the best managers in all of baseball, gets the most out of his teams. And if you ask me, I mean, they weren't the best teams in baseball the years they won the World Series.
Strike called there by Dana DeMuth.
Well, there's been no doubt about it. The 2 years they won, it's been every other year, 10 and 12. They've had great pitching. Bruce Bochy's figured out a way with this offense. Now, AT&T Park out in San Francisco is not the friendliest place if you're a hitter. Big gaps.
Posey grounds one to short. Let's see if they can double him up. There's one, and there's 2. So Sabathia got just what he needed. 6-4-3 double play. No runs, 2 hits, and 1 man left. Giants nothing, and the Yankees coming to bat. Bottom of the first. Let's take a look at the Yankee lineup that he's going to face, presented by Lexus. Leading off tonight is the right fielder Ichiro Suzuki. Batting second and DHing, Alex Rodriguez really struggling. Second baseman Robinson Cano hits third. The cleanup hitter, the left fielder Alfonso Soriano. Curtis Granderson in center field will bat fifth. Batting sixth, playing third base, Eduardo Nunez. Lyle Overbay at first base, he'll hit seventh. Batting eighth, playing shortstop, Brendan Ryan. And J.R. Murphy will catch, and he's going to bat ninth.
Tim Lincecum, deemed the freak because of his delivery. Very unorthodox delivery. Not the biggest guy. Two-time Cy Young Award winner. 4.4 ERA, the 10 and 13. He's pitched better in years past. Let's take a quick look at his scouting report, brought to you by Tri-Honda Dealers. Too many base runners. Mentioned about CC. Well, Tim Lincecum leads the National League in runs allowed. Not a good stat if you're a pitcher. Innings, similar to CC. 08, 227 innings. 09, 225. 2010, 212. He's pitched a lot of innings over the years. It's taken a little bit of a toll. His velocity's down. and pitching better of late. 4-0 with a 3.77 his last 5 starts. Great split finger, big curveball, velocities dropped in that low 90 range.
Can you use the same thing on both pitches?
I was wondering that. You've never done that. You've never done that.
I know. But
Innings,
you know what, guys?
innings.
Honestly, when I look at it, CC leads all of baseball, giving up the most runs for a starter. Now we got same on this guy, Tim Lincecum, most in the National League. And then both of them, they pitch a lot. Paulie, look at that. A lot of innings, a lot of pitches.
So it wasn't a case of you ran out of things to say. You just felt it was applicable for both pitchers.
Very much so, Michael. And I didn't even really finish with CC because I gotta go on and
You
on.
got big notes over there. That's in case we had an hour and a half first inning. You could have got through that. Look at that.
Paul, I got to tell you the truth. He did the game in Boston last Friday. Yeah. 2 batters it took for him to get his pitches. It was. I didn't know it was my eyes crossed.
A lot of pride in those scouting reports.
Even Kenny, who's the nicest guy in the world, said, "Wrap it up. Let's go." There's a strike, 3-2.
Can't help it. Sorry. There's wrap it up.
Nope. Stevie is going to do his wonders on the glove. He fixes people. He fixes gloves.
Yeah.
Stevie used to take my gloves every spring training, undo them, take the padding out of the heel. I was good for the year.
Why did it have to be done again?
Because I didn't like the padding in the heel of the glove, because if it hit it, the ball would come out. I'd rather it sting my hand. This part right here has got a bunch of padding in it, and you can miss the ball.
Ichiro swings and misses.
There he goes. Dude.
Right in here, there's a bunch of padding. And if the ball hits there, then it doinks, goes way out of there. You didn't like that, did you? When the outfielders doink.
Well, I liked when you by opposing outfielder. Yeah, well, you know what I did? Do a lot of guys do that?
No.
Take the pad out.
It helped me.
There's A-Rod. He has really been struggling of late. 1 hit in his last 22 at-bats. And Paul, you could speak to this. It's hard to hit with no legs. He's got a bad left hamstring. He's got a bad right quad. And most of his swinging is all upper body. Still strong, but that one is driven out to center field. Perez is there, and he'll put it away for the second out. Let's check out the Giants' defense presented by Geico. Pills in left, Perez in center, Pence over and right. Sandoval, Crawford, Arias, and Belt third to first. Sanchez behind the plate, and Lincecum's on the mound.
But not bad enough for Alex to sit. I mean,
Well, he doesn't want to sit, but you wonder what's the good of running him out there if he can't get a hit. He also can't run the bases right now either. And his legs are not allowing him to play the field, so you're really getting a limited player. And you're hoping he runs into him. And you give him credit for wanting to play, but no time to rest now. Pitch to Cano is inside, 1-0.
You talked about his delivery, and his velocity has gone down a little bit, but he is so deceptive with his delivery. You just don't see a lot of guys. He kind of jumps at you, long stride, arm drags behind. It's very hard to pick up the baseball.
which, because of that delivery, has made him termed the freak. Look, he's 5'10", he's about 170 pounds. His stride is longer than his height. And not to get too technical here, but most major leaguers throw with a shorter stride, about 85% of the pitcher's height. He gets so much push off the backside, basically pole vaults or catapults the ball to home plate. That was the concern when he was drafted #1 by the Giants in 2006, the 10th overall pick at the University of Washington, was his size and the way he threw the baseball. Well, 2 Cy Young awards later and a couple World Series championships, I think they got a nice pickup.
Yankees baseball available in Spanish by hitting the SAP button on your television. SAP is brought to you by Infinity.
Here, watch him turn, and then push off. Not as much, but you see just the pole vault or catapult effect. When I say not as much, not as violent off the pitcher's rubber.
Grounded to the third baseman Sandoval. And he gets Cano for the final out of a 1-2-3 inning. So the Yankees go down in order. We go to the second inning. Nothing. About the 200 or more innings in 5 straight seasons, the first Yankee to do that since Mel Stottlemyre.
How about Mel? He did 9 years in a row.
Where'd you throw that? Just off
Because
the top
it was
of your
part
head?
of that scout report that I didn't finish. 9 years in a row from 1965 to 1973. Wow. Now he finished it.
And Mel had to retire because of a bad arm.
I'll tell you what, look at these numbers. Good numbers. 290, 25 home runs, 93 RBI. Has been hot lately. Now watch the way he goes about it.
I was going to ask you, how does he do it?
Wow. I mean, nothing. It's just unorthodox. Is a guy that loves to play baseball, doesn't do everything gracefully, but gets it done and plays hard.
Have you ever worn your pants like that?
I don't know what that are. Those like little garter belt things there, huh? Hey, this new TV doesn't clear very easy. Can we get a new one here?
Count 2-1.
Tell you one thing, though, he plays every single day. I think he's played every game this year. And a guy that you love as a manager, just to pencil in the lineup, know that he's going to give you 100% effort every single day. And that sounds so easy, but it's very hard to find players, energy-wise, just day in and day out, that take the field and play hard.
Well, he was the big rallying force, right, when they traded for him last year. The World Championship got around, rallied during the World Series. He had some sort of chant as they would all get fired up to go out and play.
And Pence walks. Let's look at the game time weather presented by Bigelow Tea.
It's a
beautiful
10.
night.
I'll tell you that. It's a 10 tonight.
69 degrees, 52% humidity, 9 miles per hour is the wind. It's mostly clear and cool.
This is pretty close to a 10, huh?
Perfect.
Almost fall hitting, October coming around.
Tell you what, one thing, when you start noticing getting dark, you know, early in the in the game, or even when the playoffs start the game, it's in the dark. You know it's time for the playoffs. It's time for the fun time of year. Both these teams not where they want to be at this time of the year. Yankees still trying to fight Giants making plans how to get home.
Sandoval with a pop-up. Cano makes the play for the first out. The Panda.
Boy, did he have a postseason last year at the World Series? First guy to have 3 home runs since Reggie.
Crowd favorite, just a fun guy. If you're a local, a fan for the Giants, a fun guy to watch. Just get big hits. He just has a personality about him. Has a great nickname, Kung Fu Panda. Now, where's that come from?
Cartoon.
Well, I know that, but I mean, does he resemble Kung Fu Panda or what?
I didn't have a kid then when he got nicknamed.
Now you know all this stuff.
Not
right?
yet. Not yet. Like the haircut.
Streaky. He's actually hot right now. You know what? I think it's his hair and probably his size. Why they call him Panda.
Runner goes. Nice tag there by Cano to get Pence for the second out.
Well, we're going to see a replay, I'm sure. Pence thought he was in there. A decent jump. The one thing, he's going to lose his helmet here.
Oh.
All right, Hunter, I'm with you. I think you were safe. You lost your helmet, got hit in the head, and then got called out.
There's Hector Sanchez, and he hits one to right field, a base hit. Ichiro's thinking about getting him at first. Not in time.
I'll tell you one thing. If you're a hitter right there, you hit a bullet to right field and get thrown out. It's terrible. I'll tell you one thing. Ichiro got a great jump and knew what he wanted to do as soon as that ball was hit. One hopper right to him. I'll tell you what, you see right there. I got to run.
Did you ever get anybody from right?
A pitcher.
Yeah?
Yeah.
He must
Might
have been
out
pleased
lighter.
with you.
No.
It might have been. I think I've gotten thrown out a couple times from right. That's a straight U14 ball.
U14? What is that?
Like youth baseball. Pick your age. You know, you see a lot of this with kids in the big field that hit a base hit to right field and get thrown out. Almost got him.
Grounded up the middle. Cano will step on second, and that will do it as they retire Bill. We go to the bottom of the second. 0-0 here on Yes. Yankees. And here's the question. What is your favorite memory of Andy Pettitte's Yankees career and why? AJT4, just seeing his eyes over the tip of his glove in October, complete focus and utter domination. Follow Yes Network and tweet us your responses using hashtag Yankees Prius to keep the conversation going. Now, this moment could be considered in this conversation. 1996 World Series, one of the best games ever pitched. In a big moment.
Remember, well, that's one of the best pitch games on both ends I ever remember being part of, and especially in that situation in the World Series. That's the one that scares me.
What?
Pettit can launch that thing every once in a while. Great control of the plate. When they throw to the bases, boy, it makes me nervous.
So Andy's final start will be Sunday, final home start, and then his final start will be in Houston, which is somewhat poetic because that's the only other place he played other than the Yankees, and that's close to where he lives. 5-time world champion, MVP in 01's ALCS, 19 wins in the postseason, and 4-0 in 2009's postseason. And that earned him his 5th World Series ring. So those two will never play on the same field again together. Derek is out for the rest of the year, and Andy's not coming back next year. Soriano skies one to right field. That ball is gone. See ya. That is his 100th RBI of the year, and it gives the Yankees a 1-0 lead.
Tell you one thing, Soriano's done a great job since he's come over and come back to New York. You see this ball up. He's learned in this stadium. You can shoot this ball to right and be very successful. Al, you got to hate throwing a decent pitch and watching it driven out the other way.
Well, you know what? No, Lincecum's center pitch here, but there's no doubt about it. If right-handed hitters, as you just described, can stay on the baseball and hit a hard line drive to right field, yeah, they're not just doubles.
I mean, that ball missed a little. It was up in the zone, obviously, but I mean that's an out to a wall in a lot of ballparks.
Yeah, I really think with Soriano that the years that he was having, or at least the last few with Chicago, just uninspiring. You know you're not in postseason implication, and here he comes back to New York. I mean, the numbers that he's put up really almost single-handedly has helped put the Yankees in this position for them to still be fighting for a wild card, because he has been that good, not only for the Yankees but around baseball since that trade. There's 16 home runs now, 49 RBIs with the Yanks. What'd you say, Michael? He's over 100?
That's his 100th ribby with both teams combined. 3-2 on Granderson, and that got a piece of Sanchez.
All right, Michael, so help me out here. We're going to do some math up here. You're looking at the scoreboard. You're a scoreboards watcher. You're a Yankee fan. You want Cleveland to lose.
Right.
So are Tampa Bay, Baltimore, who do you want to win there?
That's a tough call, because you've got to get to within at least 3 of Tampa. But the Orioles still are 2 games in the loss column ahead of you as well. So you're going to gain on somebody, but somebody is in front of you is not going to lose ground.
Right.
Yeah, but I don't know about you guys. I always want whoever's in first, I want them to lose.
Right.
I mean, when Tampa Bay and Texas were just playing that series, well, there they are tied. You would want either or team that's head-to-head to sweep to get one of them out of the way. So right now, I'm saying Rays, O's, no doubt.
So you're rooting O's.
I'm rooting O's.
Okay,
yeah.
but you can't make up ground on the O's.
Yeah, but
unless by yourself, you can make up ground against the Rays by yourself. You can make up 3 games on the Rays by yourself.
Well, but once the Rays get out, if they lose and then now they're behind you. As you win 3 in a row and they lose 3 in a row, you're ahead of them.
No, I understand that, but you still want to get in the top 2 spots. If you can't get to Baltimore, you're not getting in the playoffs, and you don't play Baltimore.
Okay, so now Tampa Bay wins. I'm still 3.5 back, although Baltimore is 3 back.
This is a bad question.
You started. Well, what you want to do is you want maybe take 2 out of 3 so you can gain on both of them while you're sweeping. I don't think you want either team to sweep.
Ooh.
Boy, is he having a rough at bat.
Yeah.
Wow, I'll tell you one thing, man. This, you can see, this staggered him. Right off the mask.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Well, Austin Romine's still feeling the effects of a foul ball on the road trip in Baltimore, and he's not been able to come back.
You know, that ball actually looked like it hit on the helmet part of it. It didn't, almost like getting hit in the head with, during a football game.
Yeah, I wonder how they, I'm sure they have, but tested the old mask to the new, because I know Jorge Posada always used the old school mask. That thick wrought iron steel, that big pad on the forehead. I don't know if these hockey masks or goalie masks are as good.
Tony Pena told John Flaherty when we were in Toronto, he said, I was at a steel bar. He said, I never got a concussion. I got a lot of foul tips. He said, these other ones, it just doesn't absorb it like that.
As you said, it almost looks like a helmet material. So if it hits on the plastic, I don't know. Let's see if it does hit on the
helmet part of it. Yeah.
He's also turned slightly, so got him on the side rather than straight on. He's going to stay in the game.
Well, catching was never an option for you, Ball. Lefty.
I was never a big fan. The only thing was, when you come in to play baseball, and then they tell you, you can't play this position, you can't play this position just because you're left-handed. That used to irritate me a little bit. You? Didn't you ever want to play shortstop?
Yeah.
Me too. I mean, but you couldn't. You're left-handed. I'm like, well, why?
Yeah, but I bet, Paul, with Cincinnati, you're the best kid on the field. They let you play anywhere, no?
Yeah, pitcher's mound, first base, and go to the bench. You're not playing shortstop.
3-2. High fly ball to Pill. For the second out. There's Tony Pena's mask when he was with Pittsburgh.
How good was Tony? I mean, wasn't he the first one to sit on the ground?
Yeah.
And throw from his knees? What a rocket arm Tony Pena had.
He looks like he's still in the same shape.
He may even be in better shape. I think he's even lost some weight as the year's gone on. And still throws great batting practice. You should put a radar gun on him. He throws hard.
That's when I knew that you're so far away from the game when you go and watch BP. It looks like the BP guy's really bringing it. It's over. It's over. Everybody's retiring. We might as well just come back, huh? But then when you look at BP and he looks like he's just bringing it, time to go home.
Overbay fouls it back. Yankees have a 1-0 lead on Soriano's home run to right.
There it is. Look at that. I love that. The guy that low.
Oh, he had a great arm. Look at those unis, huh? I'll tell you one thing. You're talking about Pittsburgh. You see those old things. Pittsburgh's back in the playoffs. It's been 20 years or so.
Yeah, they would have to be, what do they have to do? Lose every game, and Washington have to win every game. Cincinnati's fighting, too. The Red Stockings.
And Cincinnati's in Pittsburgh tonight. Pirates lead 2-1 in the third in that game. Squibb the other way. Sandoval bobbles. Will be an E5.
Another thing Bruce Bochy said, I mean, defensively, we were as sound as anybody this year. For some reason, this is haven't made the plays. And, when you base your team around pitching and defense, you don't catch the ball, bad things are going to happen.
Yeah, there's a direct correlation. Obviously, if your pitching staff isn't doing as well, vice versa, they're not making the plays. Your pitchers have to work a little harder, and all of a sudden you see that team ERA go up.
Here's Brendan Ryan with the Yankees 6 for 28, 194 overall, Yankees and Seattle. And Paul Noward said that he checked. Let's check out the Pepsi team recap on the Giants.
Well, you see there every facet of the game, as we're talking about, 20th in baseball in ERA, 21st in runs, and 19th in defensive efficiency. They're 4th worst in the National League. Rotation woes between Matt Cain, who started out poorly. Ryan Vogelsong has not been the same. Barry Zito, Tim Lincecum. And the World Series hangover. Look, they won in 10. 2011, not a good year. 2012, last year, they win the World Series. And here they are struggling again. And it's the worst win percentage, 4th worst win percentage by a defending champ. And the worst team was the 1998 Marlins after the 97 team that won.
Only half a team is back, though. Does
Yeah.
that still count?
I don't even think it was half.
Count 3-1.
There might have been 3 or 4 players left. Be fair to say the rotation woes. Madison Bumgarner's had a good year, 13-9 with a 2.77. He's the only one of the 5 really consistently from start to finish.
Ryan pops it up. Hits the top of the Yankee dugout. These are the worst winning percentage of defending World Series champions. In '98, obviously they had an excuse. They dismantled the team. I don't know what the excuse on the Reds was. What was that?
Paulie, you were on that one.
Yeah, it was. We had a lot of injuries that year, Michael.
Okay, I'll play along.
And the rotation, right?
And Uncle
Lost
Lou,
your closer.
Uncle Lou wasn't very nice to us that year either. He wasn't real happy with our performance. Lou Piniella we're talking about.
Runner will go. 3-2 and 2 outs. High fly ball, center field. Perez is there, and that will do it. But the Yankees take the lead. Why? Because Alfonso Soriano led off with this and went the other way over the short porch wall and right. 1-0 Yankees. Lincecum can't believe it. Now tonight's injury report brought to you by Montefiore Medical Center Inspired Medicine. Today we show you 2 guys that are injured but are actually playing. A-Rod, 9th straight game at DH because of a hamstring in the left leg and a calf problem in the right leg problem. And then Alfonso Soriano sprained his thumb on September 12th. He missed 1 game, and that was in Boston, but has come back and played. He said he doesn't have the power to drive the ball, but his home run has given the Yankees a 1-0 lead. Crawford takes outside from CeCe. Lincoln scoreboard 1-1 and 0, 0-3-1. Bottom of the second, Tampa Bay leads Baltimore 2-0. Houston and Cleveland 1-1. That's in the bottom of the third in Cleveland. Cleveland had to go into extra innings to beat the Astros yesterday. And the 3-0. 3-1. Crawford, the number 9 hitter in the Giants lineup.
Noah Bohr is a glove guy at shortstop's gotten a lot better. Had a good postseason last year. 4th round draft pick in 2008. How about this? He's one of 6 players to hit a grand slam in his first big league game.
And he walks here in the third. All right, so the Giants are in the National League West. Yesterday, the Dodgers clinched the playoff spot. They did it in Arizona. And boy, they got a lot of people ticked off because they went and they celebrated in the pool in right center field in Chase Field. Have a problem with it or not?
I thought it was kind of weird. I think especially because you clinched over the team that you beat, and you're not at home. You know, kind of using the facilities of another joint. And I'm sure Donnie Mattingly probably didn't know about it. And, you know, sometimes, 20 years ago, nobody would have known. First of all, you wouldn't have had a swimming pool in right center field, but nobody would have known because of the media and stuff. And so everything, as a player, you got to realize that people are looking at it. And, it would have bugged me if I would have been I was surprised Kirk Gibson wasn't out there tearing them out of the pool. What do you think?
Yeah, I'm with you. I think you win like you've been there before, and I don't believe that Donnie said, "Yeah, go out to the swimming pool." I don't think he was part of it. I think there was a little residual from when Yasiel Puig. There was a big moment, if you guys remember, that both coaches and Don Mattingly actually tackled Alan Trammell, and it was really a big melee. And there might have been a little bit of that to, hey guys, let's go out to the swimming pool. I thought it looked pretty cheesy. I didn't think it was right. Not that it's that big a deal. I mean, they jumped in a pool. But,
and what was surprising to a lot of people was that one of the veterans, really well thought of veteran, Nick Punto, kind of cannonballed in there, and then Puig followed him, and everybody started jumping in. And Derek Hall of the Diamondbacks, one of their executives, I believe is their president, was very angry. He said, "Well, I can understand they play in that old ballpark, and they don't have a pool, so they want to explore ours." That will not be forgotten in the years to come. Fair ball. Tag is made for 1 out. Throw to second. Not in time. Quick hands there by Murphy as he tagged out Arias at home plate and then fired to second, but Crawford got in ahead of the tag.
Well, good reaction play. Obviously, a ball hit. You have to wait for the umpire to make a call. Dana DeMuth, the home plate umpire. Let's see here. The ball just kicks on the white line and then rolls in front. Nice job by J.R. Murphy. Watch this ball. It's kicked in front and it stays in front. Now there's an imaginary line from the back corner of home plate. That is a fair ball. See that Crawford immediately running just in case it is fair. If that ball is a little lower, I think Robinson Cano could have made a tag on it.
Line drive, a base hit for Perez. Crawford rounds third. He will score. Perez is going for 2. The throw. Not in time.
Well, again, Al, I mean, when you're having a year like CC's having where your numbers just aren't correct, these are the outs you don't get. You get a guy on second base, and you leave a ball over the middle of the plate. The guy doesn't miss it, driven to right center or left center field. But I tell you one thing, gets out of the box quick. Ball was hit hard. Granderson got to it, made a good throw in. Let's just beat the baseball.
This must be a special moment for Perez because he went to high school in the Bronx. He went to DeWitt Clinton High School, and here he is with 2 hits against the Yankees in his first 2 at-bats.
And 3 for 3 the other day against the Mets, Michael.
Like a New York kid having a nice week in New York. He went from DeWitt Clinton to a baseball academy in the Dominican Republic and then a small junior college in Oklahoma, so somewhat of a circuitous route to get to the big leagues. belt, grounds one to second. Cano makes the play for the second out as Perez moves to third.
I know San Francisco with Once Upon a Time, they have polo grounds right across the river. But there's a lot of Yankee synergy with this San Francisco team. Brian Sabean was a longtime scouting director, longtime scout with the Yankees. You know, you mentioned about...
Now he's a GM.
He's a GM, no, I'm sorry. Juan Perez and Dick Tidrow is the Vice President of Player Personnel. Yankee fans remember him Once Upon a Time. Of course, Dave Righetti's on the coaching staff, along with Hensley Newlands and Roberto Kelly.
And also have Steve Balboni as part of their scouting staff.
Steve Balboni, that's right. He's a advanced scout for the Giants.
There's a guy that's important in Yankee history. Tell me why, Paul.
They traded that fella for me.
Yes, they did.
He was Bobby and Roberto, and I think he's Roberto now, right?
He was Roberto when they traded him for you.
So tell me something, and I want to know the truth. Were you writing for the paper then?
Let's see. No, I was not. I was on the radio.
And what'd you say?
Oh,
Bad
phenomenal
trade,
deal.
trade.
What a deal.
Really?
I love them getting Joe DeBerry, I said.
Yeah, exactly. Seriously, what'd you say?
I understood why they made the deal, because they looked at Bernie as their center fielder.
He wants to know what you said.
I thought it was I didn't know that much about him at the time. I said I thought it was a good deal because at Yankee Stadium, he hits the ball the other way. There's a lot of room in left center field, and maybe he could take advantage of the short porch.
There you go. Nice job. Nice scouting report.
And also, when Gene Michael does something, I'm going to sign up with Gene Michael.
Stick was the man.
Yeah.
You look at some of the trades he made and stuff. I mean, I have a lot of respect for Gene Michael.
You know, Roberto Kelly hates you, though, because he got sent away from New York.
Oh, he went to Cincinnati. He had some good years. Man, an all-star team then.
Yeah, he didn't win world championships like you. Had a nice play to get Posey by Eduardo Nunez. But the Giants tie the score. 1 run, 1 hit. No errors and 1 man left on base. Beautiful play by Nunez. Nice scoop by Overbay. We go to the bottom of the third. What a cavernous place. I think it was something like 480 to center field. And after the Giants left for San Francisco, Polo Grounds stood, and then the Mets played there until Shea Stadium was built. And now you have the Polo Ground apartments that you see right in that spot. So you can see Yankee Stadium from the Polo Grounds. And there's the McCoon's Dam Bridge.
That must have been a really cool time for baseball fans in the city.
Some of the train, like station things, you know, when you walk off the train, I think are still over there.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Well, the Yankees used to play in the Polo Grounds. And when they started to get more popular, John McGraw kind of said, get out. And then the Yankees ended up building Yankee Stadium, and they built such an unbelievable palace because they wanted to rub it right in the Giants' faces. They shared the ballpark at the Polo Grounds from 1913 to 1922, and Yankee Stadium opened in 1923. J.R. Murphy with a high fly ball. Hunter Pence is there, and he puts it away. Now you see this, you can see the river, and there's the bridge that will take you right across to Yankee Stadium. Kind of neat.
It's nice, yeah. You know, and if you look at these two teams, because of their uniforms and stuff, they're standards. You know, they don't change much every single year. Some of these teams change. You know, these are traditional teams, baseball teams, and that's why they're so well loved by their fans.
So the Lincoln scoreboard 1-1. I'm going to tell you something that maybe will surprise you. I bet you don't know this. Al might know this. Do you know that the Met uniform and their color scheme is the combination of the Dodgers and the Giants? When the Dodgers left, the orange in the Mets and the blue in the Dodgers.
You knew that?
You didn't know that?
No, I didn't know that.
Lined into center field. It's base.
The Royal Blue.
Did you know that 3C Highway in Ohio connected Cincinnati, Columbus, and Cleveland?
You know what? I did know that.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah, the Metropolitans, right? The Brooklyn Dodger blue and the New York Giant logo.
Fluorescent orange.
Yeah, they brought in the orange.
I'll tell you what, Michael. Alex, you talked about he lost his legs last time up. Good pitch to hit. Hit it pretty well, but you see there's this no lift and no carry on the ball right now. Just not able to drive it like he's accustomed to doing.
And that's affected the Yankee lineup. They have not been able to score a lot of runs. They didn't score runs in Toronto. And you've got your number 2 hitter who can't move and really is not driving the ball. And he had really been hitting well before his legs gave out. But I think that what's happening with Alex is the same thing that happened to Derek. When you're rehabbing a part of your body that you can't rehab your legs are going to break down eventually. Derek couldn't work on his legs last year because he was on a scooter during the winter, and Alex was rehabbing a hip injury. He wasn't working on his hamstring and his quad and his calf.
How about it just gets harder? There's no, here we're, Andy announced his retirement and Mo's going to retire. I'm not saying that Alex is there yet or Derek, but I don't know what age you were, but when I hit that 38 as a pitcher, it's different. I mean, I'm not running bases all night. It got a lot more difficult. So the training aspect and stretching and, do you incorporate yoga or, where do you go to maintain that flexibility that's needed for the fast twitch muscles to do what they need to do? How old were you when you retired?
38.
38.
1-2. Oh, so you retired coming off a 20 stolen base, 20 home run year. You had no business retiring.
Well, I think that if you watched Andy Pettit's press conference today, something really rang about him. He said mentally, I'm done. And that's the way I felt. And I talked to you on the radio today, Michael, and I mentioned that when you're playing in New York and you're playing postseason and World Series every single year, it's a longer season. There's a lot more stress. And believe me, you don't want to be anywhere else. I mean, playing those things are great, but they do take a toll on you. We talked about the pitchers, extra pitches, extra this. It's hard, but it's the greatest thing to go through in the world, believe me.
The flame. You talk about hear it often that the guys will talk about that flame dies out, burns out. That burn in your pit, like having to run a little more and get in the weight room a little longer and do all the things to stay as an elite major leaguer.
When did you lose that, Michael? That will to get in the weight room, just fire the iron?
I still have it.
Yeah.
I'm throwing iron up every day.
I was just wondering.
Runner was going, ground ball is short, and Alex is out for the second out.
Look at Lincecum, and a lot of the stuff you talk about velocity, but look at the movement. Everything's down. Slider going one way, kind of a split finger going the other way. So he takes something off there, gets Alex out in front.
That was a mistake. I think that was a little backup slider, but to your point, that's knee high, takes enough velocity off out in front. Yeah, there's no doubt that that when guys, especially a guy like Lincecum, having at least 3 pitches, 4 if you include 2 types of changeups, and all the movement from down and away, cutter, sinker, curveball, you get through it. But some guys that throw 95 or better, it's hard for them to believe it, that they can get people that consistently throwing 90.
Playing Pac-Man in the sky.
Oh, yeah, look at that.
I can look at it on the monitor. I can look straight out over Snoopy over in MetLife and see it in person. Pretty. Robbie, you can tell when it's September. Look at Robbie's helmet. All that pine tar on the front of it and stuff. You can also tell he's not a helmet thrower. That thing would have been broken many moons ago.
Now, you had hinted, Paul, in 2001 that was it, but you never officially announced it. So after they gave you the Paul O'Neill chant in Game 5 you couldn't come back.
That was it.
That was it, right? That signed the warrant.
I gave him the politician wave and the tip of the hat. I just said, they don't want me anymore, man. I didn't see you.
How long did you know that you were going to do that?
Like the last month or so, for sure. I was frustrated because I found myself not being able to concentrate every single pitch like you did the years before, and it just frustrated me.
But let's be honest, Mr. Joe Torre almost talked you back into it. What, a year later?
He did, yeah. The next year, he asked how long it'd take to get ready because they had an injury in the outfield, and I started loosening it up on vacation, ran a couple of sprints, thought this might be kind of fun in the middle of the season. But they ended up signing Raul Mondesi. Couldn't wait.
Would you have come back?
Probably.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. That's a Yes exclusive, Al. We just
Can I do another Michael Kay show or something? We can talk about that?
Sure.
Yeah.
Another center stage?
Center stage.
All right. I've been asking them to change it to the Michael Kay show. They're not listening.
Starring Michael Kay.
Runner at second. We're in the bottom of the third. 1-1 game. 2 balls, 2 strikes on Cano. Cano grounded third in the first inning. That one gets away from Sanchez as Ichiro moves to third. They had a small ceremony before the game where Ichiro presented his uniform from the 4,000 hit game to the Baseball Hall of Fame. So that will go up to Cooperstown. And Ichiro's made countless visits to Cooperstown. He's a huge baseball fan. Yeah.
I saw Jeff Idelson. Remember Jeff Idelson?
Yeah.
Now he's in the Hall of Fame. Is that why he's here?
Yeah, he was here to collect the jersey, and then the Yankees presented him that beautiful vase to commemorate the 4,000 hit. And that's Gene Afterman, the assistant GM of the Yanks. Three-two.
See, this is where Robbie gets in trouble. You know, he's such a good hitter that sometimes he'll go out of the zone. Look at this pitch. I mean, that's even, you got to be a good hitter just to foul that off. But again, Lincecum's not going to give in to the hitter of Robinson Cano with the base open. I mean, there's just no way.
Well, high fastball. He's got the good change. The fastball in or up in that case, and change up down the way.
There's got to be something in the third.
Ooh,
fastball right line.
No runs to hit, no errors, 1 man left. There's a moon up in the sky. As we go to the 4th inning, it's 1-1. Smokers Quit Line quiz. Call 1-866-NY-QUITS for free help today. How many future Hall of Famers appeared in the 1962 World Series between the Yankees and the Giants?
7.
You going to tell me who they are?
No, I'm just throwing a number out. I mean, that's a hard question.
That's probably pretty close.
Mantle,
Marichal, Willie
Ford, Mays,
McCovey.
5.
Is McCovey in the Hall of Fame?
Yes, he is.
Was Whitey still around?
Yeah. Whitey retired the year before Mickey. He retired in 67, Mickey in 68.
I got 6. It's close.
Hunter Pence hits one deep to left field. In the corner is Soriano, and he'll put it away for the first out.
Good swing. The ball just off the end of the bat. Pence, to me, I mean, if you look at his numbers, we talked about it, and you see full bore, full hack, just off the end of the bat. Good level swing. Just missed it.
Now, does that constitute a snap for Paul O'Neill?
When you just missed one?
Yeah, that one looked like you just missed it.
Yeah, they frustrate you because you know how close you were from driving the ball in the seats, and believe me, there's never enough of those.
So a split, like
about
half
a quarter
an
of an inch,
right? From ecstasy to agony.
Chokes up. He hits it off the end of the bat here. Just off the end. And you're talking an inch. That ball goes in the barrel. You know, it's up against that Benjamin Moore sign out there in left field.
Count 2-0.
That's for Pence, that's a heck of a year. 93 RBIs.
Some crazy streak. He had like 17 RBIs in 5 or 6 games or something. I mean, this some crazy. Now I got everybody's throwing papers up trying to find the stats.
No. His last week it was like 6 home runs. He had like a crazy week.
An important pitch there. That's 93, but that's in off the plate. And how you've talked about it, how you've got to keep guys honest in there. CC Sabathia, even if he doesn't want to throw that ball for a strike, keep throwing it in there just to let hitters know that you have something that you can use inside.
Sandoval works a walk.
That's a good pitch. I know 3-1 count, you miss. I mean, if as a pitcher you miss big, meaning not just a few inches, veteran umpire like Dana DeMuth, who's the chief of this umpiring crew, is not going to give it to you. Let's take a look here. This is a fastball away. Look at Murphy's glove. All right, obviously it has plate coverage, but that ball's down. This would be a better shot here. Is it knee high, Paul?
Nope.
Off the glove of Ryan into left field. Sanchez hit it hard, and Ryan, outstanding shortstop, usually picks that, but it scored a base hit.
Oh, hit hard. And Sanchez does such a good job of hitting left-handed hitters. He's been one of the guys for the Giants that really hits lefties well. This ball, sure, could have been caught possibly, but this spot's a tough play. That ball's hitting right on the nose. Nothing but just a reaction, and you see the ball comes up. Play that Olay and just hope that you get some leather on it.
I investigated it, Paul. Hunter Pence has 26 ribbies in 18 games this month.
It's pretty impressive.
And his 45 his 45 ribbies since the All-Star break are the second most behind Alfonso Soriano's 51.
Wow.
1-0 to Brett Pill. Nice way to break into the big leagues for Pill. Hit a home run. First big league plate appearance. And only 2 other Giants in history did that. Will Clark and Johnny LeMaster.
Will Clark. God, what a beautiful swing. I just remember watching Will Clark hit it. Those were the old days, though, where it was Candlestick Park. And I'm telling you, was there a worse place to play baseball? Huh? Ah, beautiful batting practice, and all of a sudden game time, and it's like somebody opened the door, the wind blew in, it got cold, the fog came in. The fans got mean. Everything was bad.
Grounded to third. There's one, and there's two. And around the horn, 5-4-3, double play. No runs a hit, no errors, and one man left on base. Nunez with a nice feed to Cano, who gets it over the first for the double play. New York State Smokers Quit Line quiz. Talking about the 62 World Series between the Yankees and the Giants. How many future Hall of Famers appeared? And we guessed 7. Let's see if we were right. How'd we do? Wow.
Pure guess. Oh, Orlando Cepeda, yeah.
How you like that?
Not too bad.
I saw.
I was going to say, were you reading any stats or anything? But no, that's not
right off the top of my head. Walking in today, I saw Felipe Alou, Bert Campaneris, guys from the past, good players. And what was it? An election to the Hispanic Hall of Fame?
I think so. Moises Alou was here too.
Yeah, he got inducted. Moises.
Here's Soriano. 0-1. Here's the last out of the 1962 World Series. A blistering line drive. McCovey to Richardson. And Matty Alou was at third and Willie Mays was at second, and the Yankees celebrated a championship. And that was their last champion. They had to wait again until 1977. They lost in 63 and 64.
Felipe, I remember the couple of years ago when the San Francisco beat Texas, and he was very emotional about that loss because of that. What was it, Willie Mays? And it was a bunt, and Felipe didn't get it down, and base hit, and they've stranded as we just saw the last out. And he's held it with him. Felipe has, because there was a situation where he didn't get the job done. I was so happy in 2010 when the San Francisco Giants won it.
You know, it's weird because I look back and you look at the generation, Felipe Alou, Moises Alou, and Felipe and Matty, and how cool it would be to play in the major leagues with your brother. And I mean, you had that opportunity. Your brother was, playing on the same team,
yeah.
right?
No, but against them for about 10 years.
It's pretty neat.
Well, how about Jesus Alou, right?
Yeah.
The third brother.
Knocked down by Sandoval. That's a base hit for Soriano. What Paul was talking about, it was the Latino Baseball Hall of Fame class of 2014. You see Alou out there. Bert Campaneris, Moises Alou, Omar Moreno as well.
Omar Moreno from Pittsburgh, right? He was with
Ozzie Virgil's also
Tony
out there.
Pena.
Here's Granderson. Soriano goes, pitches high, throw to second, plenty of time. Scored 2-6 on the caught stealing.
And you would think, if you look at Lincecum's mechanics, you would think he'd be really slow to the plate. But he jumps so quick that he actually gives Posey a good opportunity, or catcher a good opportunity. Sanchez makes a great throw. Soriano out easily.
And we'll take a look at it on the Coors Light freeze cam. Freeze it. There you go.
Right on the money. Actually, Paul, Lincecum, I'll get the number, but his stealing percentage is not good. It's 95%. And most of the time, you saw a gun from Buster Posey. Great catcher. And a guy with a big leg kick. It's I would say, I don't know what the percentage is, but it's mostly on the pitcher with a big leg kick from the right side.
There's Buster. He's the DH today.
I'll tell you what, you talked about his woes at the plate, and I don't know that DHing helps you. You know, it just gives you so much time to sit and think. Granderson takes strike 3, and again, Lincecum has good stuff tonight. I mean, he's thrown a couple fastballs by guys, but he mixes up his pitches so well. It's the outside corner there.
And there's a strike to Nunez.
Curveball just to start off the count. Doesn't have to be a great curveball, but you know, you just threw strike 3 on a fastball. And you make a little shorter slider there. And you're 0-2 in the back of your mind. You haven't seen the fastball. You haven't seen the ball come in on you. So one there.
A couple of Mariano fans, and he will be honored here on Sunday. And if you're coming to the stadium, the Yankees have asked us to remind you, be in your seats by 12:30 so you don't miss the start of the ceremony. And we want to remind you, yes, we'll be carrying it, and then Exit Sandman after the game will have a special where we'll examine Mariano's career. We're coming on the air at noon on Sunday, and the ceremony should start sometime after 12:30.
I'll tell you what, you look at some of those sliders, and they almost have almost a fork ball. It's there, and it just drops. Lincecum has that ball that ends up in the dirt, and there's so much coming at you from a hitter's point of view fast. You know, it's just jumping at you. Sometimes as a hitter, you don't swing at the motion. You have to pick up the ball.
Chop the belt. And that's going to do it for the Yankees here in the 4th. No runs are hit, no errors, and nobody left. We go to the 5th. It's a 1-1 game. and John Flaherty will keep an eye on that, and Meredith will join them in the postgame show as well. Fifth inning here at the stadium, interleague matchup, Yankees and the Giants, 1-1. And Brandon Crawford will lead it off against CC Sabathia.
Well, you're in a 1-1 game, you're pitching, you think, you know what? I got pretty good stuff, but I understand this other guy's doing the same thing. He pitched a little bit different coming into the game.
I think you do, because when you know that the other guy is kind of 0 for 0 here, obviously with the 1-1 game, fifth inning, but you're always cognizant that you're at Yankee Stadium and it's a mistake away from it being not just a single or a double, but a home run. I think what CC right now, and you've talked about it with these lefties, is that he's established hard in to open up the outside part of the plate. And tonight, I mean, charting the pitches, CC's thrown a lot of change-ups, or at least changing speeds on his fastball. So they're looking at 3 different type of pitches.
Crawford with a high fly ball to center. Granderson puts it away for the first out. Hey, we have another update from Bob Lorenz. Keep him busy, Bob. Well, thank you, Bob. Everybody would agree, of all the teams battling, Cleveland has the easiest schedule on paper. But you know what? It took them extra innings to beat the Astros yesterday, so you never really know. Here's Joaquin Arias. And there's a strike.
No, that's true, Michael. But I'll tell you, I would take my chances with a team that's only won 50-some-odd games, and 51 games this year. There's some school of thought that says, well, they have nothing to lose. The teams that are out of it, they're playing with no pressure.
Oh, nice play by Nunez. And he gets Arias for the second out. Nunez playing a pretty good third base tonight.
You'd say it's just a reaction, but you see this ball pops up too. It's got that top spin and it comes up on him. What a reaction. Good play. Great play.
Couple nice plays now. Nice play on Buster Posey earlier in the game.
There it is on Yesmo. Even in slow motion, it's tough.
What you don't see on Yesmo and you don't see on the replay is how much spin is on the ball and how much movement you really see on the baseball when it hits the ground with that much spin on it. And it's just amazing how fast it happens out on the field.
One and one. Yankees in a position after losing 2 or 3 in Toronto where you argue the point they might have to win out.
Last series we did, Michael, Joe had thrown a number out. You remember what it was?
Oh, yeah, 93. He's
it's
way
93?
Off. Yeah, look at it now. Probably 88 or 89 will get it done. Because the teams in front of the Yankees, Paul, have given the Yankees every opportunity, but Yankees just went on a long road trip and they were 4-6. And you're not going to get it done that way. And they lost 5 of their last 6 games on the road trip. They were 3-1 against the Orioles. Okay, that's good. Then they really got slapped around in Boston. And then the ones that really hurt were 2 out of 3 against the Blue Jays. They had beaten the Blue Jays 14 times this year.
Well, there's no doubt about it. Texas and Tampa Bay have absolutely helped the Indians, the Orioles, the Royals, and the Yankees keep it interesting right to the very last few days.
The Texas thing, I just can't figure it out. I mean, they should have a couple World Series under their belt by now. They've got good players. They've got great talent. I mean, where's their weakness, really? They have a lot of talent.
Well, there was a point earlier in the year that every one of their starting pitchers had spent some time on the DL.
Yeah.
Strike 3. Perez down looking. So CC works a 1-2-3-5. We're halfway through. It's a 1-1 game. of the bottom of the fifth. Overbay takes a strike. It's a 1-1 game. Yankees and the Giants. Not quite a full moon, but almost the beginning of the honeymooners. Ground ball to first. Belt flips to Lincecum. One away. You know, Bob gives updates on games, but I'm wondering about Texas and Kansas City. Bob, do you have anything on Texas and Kansas City? And thank you, Bob. Brendan Ryan with a fly ball to left field. He's going to dunk in for a base hit right up the end of the bat.
A lot of times as an outfielder, you're fooled. Good swing, good sound, but it's off the end of the bat and you freeze. Bill just did not get a good jump. See, it's a good swing, like he really drove the ball. And the ball just doesn't show up. And you see, you break back, allows that extra step where it just drops in. See this ball go right off the end of the bat. Ball just doesn't carry.
Here's J.R. Murphy. He is 2 for 9 in the big leagues. And there's a strike. Here's one of these horror stories that you can't get too worked up about because the guy is going to be fairly well off. But a couple of years ago, Tim Lincecum was offered a 5-year, $100 million deal by the Giants. He said, nah, I'll wait. I'd rather play it out. And then ended up signing a 2-year, $40.5 million deal, which is what he's finishing right now. So when he said nah, he was 62 and 36. Since accepting the 2-year $40 million, he's 20 and 28, and his ERA is about 2 runs higher. So when he becomes a free agent, I don't think there's many teams out there that are giving him 3 years at $60 million. Now, in fairness to Tim, he said, I didn't turn that, even at the time, he said, I'm not turning this down because it's not enough money. He said, I don't want the responsibility of a 5-year deal. He said, I don't want to think I've got to live up to that. Just give me a couple of years and I'll play it after that. Well, he might have cost himself $60 million. Murphy pops it up. Belt puts it away.
Have you heard of such a thing? Wait, so 2 years, I don't feel really the pressure, but 5, I'll feel it.
Right. He said it's too far out for me to even comprehend. I mean, I really, if everybody is listening, I embrace that sort of pressure. If you want to give me a 6-year deal,
you'd sign a 20-year one, wouldn't you?
In a second. But he was coming off 2 Cy Young Awards, 2 World Series titles. Last year, you know, he was working out of the bullpen when they won the World Series. 4-time All-Star, threw a no-hitter against the Padres, but what's he going to get as a free agent on the market?
Oh, not even close, Michael. I mean, there's talk, and you just see his stuff. It's not the same. I mean, start with velocity. I mean, this guy came on the scene. There was a reason why he won a couple Cy Young Awards, but his velocity's dramatically gone down. And again, that was the concern back when they drafted him. Was he big enough? And his delivery, and it's a violent delivery, and how long will he be able to maintain that stuff?
And if you ask the Giants, would you do it again? What they got out of him? Of course they do it again. If they can get 6 years and 2 World Series out of a guy in a draft pick?
A couple Cy Young Awards? No, he's had a great career.
He got a better haircut. Remember the locks he was throwing
maybe,
out there in the
maybe
World
he was like
Series?
Samson. Now he's all clean cut. I would take a chance on him as a free agent. I don't know if I'd give him a lot of money, but he knows how to pitch.
Yeah, but I think that if you look at what the Giants are looking to do, I think they try to re-sign him, and I think they try to re-sign Hunter Pence. This team right here is not far away from being successful.
That one's looped into shallow left, but Crawford got a good jump to retire Ichiro for the final out of the 5th. No runs to hit, no errors. 1 man left. Let's go to the 6th. It's 1-1. Light Healthcare. Center Light, proud sponsor of the New York Yankees. By Johnny Walker, please drink responsibly. And by your Tri-Honda dealers. Hurry to your local Tri-Honda dealer for great deals on the 2013 Pilot. Look at him. I wonder if he'll be back on Sunday. Everything's a secret, but you wonder if Jorge will be back.
You know, he caught a lot of pitches from Mariano. I can't imagine he wouldn't be.
Brandon Belt fouls it away. Well, Andy Pettitte retired today. He's going to pitch 2 more games. And Joe Girardi caught 95 games that Andy started. And Jorge Posada caught 194.
Jim Leverage was in the...
He was in the mix.
Yeah, he was in the house tonight, too. So Pettitte's all taken care of here tonight.
And Mariano and Pettitte are joined together as well. Mariano saved 72 of Andy Pettitte's wins in the regular season and 11 in the postseason. Belt with a high fly ball to right center. Ichiro makes the play. So Posada caught 366 of Mo's saves. Girardi 74, Russell Martin 37, Cervelli 34, Flaherty 32.
Look at Flash with the hockey mask on, just trying to be cool, huh?
Now this might be a secret that's being let out, but Laura Posada, Jorge's wife, has her own Twitter account. And she says, we will definitely be at Yankee Stadium on Sunday to support the best closer ever, Mr. Sandman, our friend Mariano Rivera. That's from Laura.
Well, you're big and deep, Michael. That's that reporter in you coming out of you.
You don't exactly have to be Woodward Bernstein to sign on to Twitter. The 1-1. 2-1. Now, Andy announcing his retirement today. He'll start on Sunday, the same day as Mo's ceremony. And some people criticize, why would you take the spotlight away from Mo? And Andy said that he and Mo actually had lunch in Toronto, and Mariano urged him, you've got to do it. It'll make Sunday better for me. You've got to do it. You've got to announce it. So Andy felt comfortable announcing it.
Well, it's the last homestand. I mean, I think he said, well, I want to tell New York thank you. And he could have gone home and done. I mean, he doesn't owe anybody an explanation. This is the way he's going to do it. I mean, he's had an unbelievable career, both of them, and they deserve everything they get.
And they're connected together. Most saves of one starting pitcher. Line drive, a base hit for Buster Posey. Andy had a press conference today, and he spoke about Mo and what Mo means to him.
To have the greatest closer ever to pitch in this game, you know, close games out for me for 15 years has been an unbelievable blessing. I wouldn't have nowhere near the wins I have without him.
Well, awesome.
You know, and he even went on to say that he had every intention of just going home and announcing in the winter that this was not facilitated by him suggesting, hey, I want to do this. This was a nudge of not only by Mariano, but people within the organization saying, you know what, they deserve a nice little, the fans do, you know, an appropriate way to goodbye.
And Andy also, he told Joe Girardi this at the beginning of the year. He said this is not a decision he just made. He knew he was retired. This was it. So either he goes away and then has a press conference afterward where he really can't thank the fans or tip his cap. And, you know, how much could he really be involved in a pregame ceremony in a game that he's going to start? So the ceremony is going to be Mo's. And then when Andy takes the mound, that's when a thunderous ovation will take place. Thank you. He's the oldest starter in baseball, and Mariano is the oldest player in baseball. Now, the big discussion today with Andy's announcement, is he a Hall of Famer? And the numbers are right there. Every pitcher that's ever been 100 games over 500, other than Roger Clemens, has been in the Hall of Fame. Andy's 100 games over 500. But you also have the specter of the admission of HGH use, which I think is probably going to keep him out because everybody who's ever had any suspicion at all has not made it. As Pence goes down on strikes, but his numbers are right there.
Well, especially with his postseason numbers. I think the 255.
255 and 19 wins in the postseason.
I mean, the 255 is short, but the postseason, I mean, he's got almost 300 innings in the postseason. And I think his dominance there and, you know, being high profile, New York Yankees, championships, that definitely puts that 255 closer to, I don't know, pick your number, 270, 280.
Those are the postseason numbers right there.
Look at those 255s, and it's 255s that meant something. You know, it meant teams going to the World Series and the playoffs. And I mean, there's guys that, I hate to say it, there's guys that have won 300 games that half of them didn't even matter. You know, Robin Roberts, one of the greatest pitchers that ever played. I mean, he pitched for a horrible team. It is easier to hit and pitch when you're 20 games under 500 than it is when you're playing for pennants.
There's a different level of intensity and focus and pressure, no doubt about it.
Now, the only emotion that Andy showed in the press conference today was when HGH came up. He said, it bothers me that people say I'm a cheater. I didn't cheat. I didn't do it to cheat, and I don't think people should think of me that way. You could think whichever way you want. He said, but I know why I did it, to be back on the field. I wasn't trying to gain an advantage over other players, he said. So one thing I'm not is a cheater. The 0-2. Still 0-2.
I mean, Paul, you know very well, having been his teammate. I unfortunately, it's always going to be a tag, right?
Yeah, he admitted it.
And I believe what he said. You know, trying to get healthy and get back, etc. But it'll always be a story, some small sentence or paragraph, I assume.
And actually, the question that was given to Andy was specifically, do you have any regrets? And he said the HGH thing, and he kind of went into a stream of consciousness, and he didn't like the fact that people called me a cheater. So, again, that was, usually when you announce your retirement and you feel uncertain, I think that's when the tears come. But he seemed very assured that he was doing the right thing.
Yep.
The 1-2. Fouled straight back here, and it's under our booth.
Now, if you look at CeCe tonight, stuff-wise, you know, basically the same, but location-wise, much, much better. I mean, he has not missed with a lot of pitches today. He's gotten by with some fastballs. In fastball counts, he had enough to get guys out. With his better outings in the past couple months.
One, two. Here's an interesting stat with the Andy debate. 3.86 ERA. That would be the highest ERA of any starter in the Hall of Fame. Right now, Red Ruffing has the highest with 3.80. So even take the HGH out, and it's still a debate whether or not that's Hall of Fame worthy, although he is 100 games over 500. And he has 5 World Series titles. The 2-2. High fly ball, center field. Granderson puts it away, and that'll do it. Here in the 6th, no runs a hit, no errors, and 1 man left. We're going to the bottom of the 6th. It's 1-1. watch live Yes Network Yankee games on your PCs or laptops with Time Warner Cable. Hey, there's still season left, so for $9.99 for the remainder of this season, get live Yankee games on the go. If you're a Time Warner Cable customer, go to yesnetwork.com to get more info and subscribe now. $9.99 for 8 games. That's pretty good. You're going to sign up, aren't you?
I might. It's a deal.
1-1 game, bottom of the 6th. A-Rod leading off. Who is she taking a picture of? Could it be A-Rod? Oh, they're both zeroing in on somebody. You know, we left out one former Yankee on the Giants coaching staff. The assistant hitting coach is Joe LaFay. He's from the Yankees, too.
And in their minor leagues with Dick Tidrow, Fred Stanley has been there a long time. Fred Stanley.
Fred Stanley.
Little shortstop.
And Jim Mason were platooning at shortstop for the 1976 Yankees that swept by your Cincinnati Reds.
You two just have your fun and throw out your stats and names from 1976, you know. What's that?
Chicken Stanley. You never heard of Chicken Stanley?
Chicken Stanley. Yeah, they have that at Olive Garden. Chicken Stanley.
I know you were searching for Olive Garden in Rome. The 1-2. 2-2. And Stanley and Mason got pushed to the side when the Yankees got Bucky Dent.
Oh, Bucky Dent.
You know him. Strike 3, A-Rod down looking. A-Rod 0 for 3, 1 for his last 25.
All in? All kind of ran in, and you know, a lot of times as a pitcher or as a hitter, you just don't expect to see the guy move the glove that much.
Right, but look, Hector Sanchez is setting up away, so the glove moves. So he's on the corner. Sanchez. Oh yeah.
As if it was up.
Here's Cano. He's 0 for 2.
Done a good job on Cano. You early in the count, showing him inside and then getting him away, getting him out away. I'll tell you what, that slider, he's had good command of that thing all night. See Robbie trying to slow him down a little bit. Step out and mess with your batting gloves. Just try to take him out of his rhythm a little bit. Just got it going a little too good right now.
Fly ball. Pill toward the line for the second one.
Fun to watch. You know, when Tim Lincecum came on the scene, I mean, he was dominant. And the reason why he won a couple Cy Youngs. And you mentioned about how difficult it would be to face a guy like this with how he jumps at you. Arm, leg here, and all of a sudden, here comes the ball. And now with his velocity down some, you could tell with a little greater velocity, the slider, that changeup that dips, and then a fastball that was consistently 95 or better.
The 2-0. 3-0.
Movement of that changeup, you know, it really runs into a righty, and then he uses his slider to go away. And he's got such good movement, you know, into a righty, away from a righty.
And he walks Soriano. So Soriano, a home run, a single, now a walk against Lincecum.
I always wonder how that can happen now. I mean, you get 2 quick outs, and then all of a sudden it's like somebody picked up the plate and moved it.
Well,
it just makes no sense.
Not to say that Granderson's an easy matchup, obviously, but with Soriano already 2 for 2, and he's gone the other way with a home run. Not saying he walked him on purpose, but it was one of those, I'm going to pretend as though it's an 0-2 count, and Alfonso Soriano's got to swing at my pitch. If I walk him, I'll take my chances with Granderson.
And a strike to Granderson.
You know, if you look at the lineup for the Yankees, if you're Lincecum, who are you going to eliminate from 5th inning on? Cano and Soriano. I mean, the guys that you say, now of course, everybody in the lineup can hurt you. Everybody's got a bat. They're major leaguers and hit the ball out of the ballpark. But your 2 hottest, most difficult at bats would be Cano and Soriano. And as you get later in the game, pitch count gets up. He's almost at 100 pitches here in the 6th inning, a 1-1 game. CC's pitching a good game. One pitch could be not just a run, but a loss.
Two and one. Runner goes, throw to second, and in there is Soriano.
It's a great job by Soriano, because as a base runner, you just anticipate the ball in the dirt. As soon as you see it, you don't hesitate, you go. It's so hard for a catcher to be able to pick the ball up out of the dirt and make an accurate throw, and your read is just low. And it's a great job by Soriano. Anticipate that split, that change up or slider into the dirt.
Tell you what, a good throw gets him. Hector Sanchez had a little more time than he realized. This ball kept it in front of him. Little stutter step.
Too many things have to happen well on that play defensively for you to enable you to throw him out at second base. You have to block it. It has to stay in front of you. You have to come up quick and make a perfect throw. You know, as a base runner, you take your chances there.
Chop slowly to second. Arias will get Granderson, and that will do it. No runs, no hits, no errors, 1 left. We've played 6. We go to the 7th, 1-1. September 22nd is a very special day. Prior to the game, Yankees will honor Mariano Rivera for his career in pinstripes. In addition, all guests in attendance are going to receive a limited edition Mariano Rivera Thank You Fans glossy photo, courtesy of Yankee Steiner Collectibles. Ceremonies begin at 12:30, so you have to be sure to arrive early to honor Mariano. That should be quite an afternoon here in the Bronx. We go to the 7th. And CC deals low to Sanchez, 1-0. Cadillac scoreboard, 1-1.
GC's hit good tempo, good rhythm. Talking about his velocity, you know, even though it's registered 91, Paul, it's got to me like the flight carry through the catcher, especially that fastball down the way.
Fielded by Ryan. He gets Sanchez. 1 away. All right, Al, I'm going to put you on the spot.
Uh-oh.
Mariano Day.
Yeah.
Sunday. You switch closers in the 2000 series. Who wins?
Are you kidding me?
I'm going to need an answer.
No, that's not putting me on the spot. Mariano, boy, I loved Andy's answer with the amount of wins that, you know, he got as a result of that man right there. There's every pitcher in baseball that wasn't on the New York Yankees through that tenure just totally wished and admired and wanted that guy as their closer. I mean, it was an emotional letdown for opposing teams when Mariano was warming up. I mean, it was stay away from giving the Yankees a lead to where Mariano was going to come in, because it was Sandman, lights out, done.
Because it was also the 8th and the 9th when we got to the World Series. You see guys over there kicking the bat rack, not grabbing the bat, and they want to go hit.
Yep.
And probably his best performance had to be in '96 when he pitched the 7th and the 8th inning. And Joe Torre said the other day, he said, I don't know if I make it through '96 as a Yankee manager. He said, I really only had to manage a 6-inning game, and the other manager had to manage 9. He said, I had Rivera for 2 and Wetland for 1.
No, that recipe was, along with Paul O'Neill and all the great guys in the lineup.
Granderson retires Pill.
And you know, Michael, I mean, you say you put me on the spot. That's not, you know, I had John Franco, a dear friend, who was a great closer, and Armando Benitez really most of my time with the Mets, and Robbie Nen when we won the World Series in Florida. I had Tom Henke and Dwayne Ward. But Mariano, he's the best, and all those guys would admit to it. He was that dominant.
Was he the most important player on those teams, those championship teams?
I mean, because it comes down to close games and one-run games, and you have to fight and fight to get a lead. You just can't give it up at the end of the game. And Mariano was so good at that. We talked about '96, where, you know, he came in the 7th and the 8th, and nothing against Wetland, but the 7th and the 8th were like our relaxed innings because Mariano was in there, and then all of a sudden Wetland was in there. He'd walk the leadoff hitter and strike out one, then walk another guy. It was always, you know, on the brink of losing the game.
'96, 107 2/3 innings for Mo, 130 strikeouts, and 73 hits, a 2.09 ERA.
Pretty good.
But then here comes Wetland. Really? So now it's a 7-inning game. 6-inning game.
It's 6-inning game.
6-inning game.
That was the year that Tom Kelly, the manager of the Twins, said he does not belong in this league. There has to be a higher league than this.
6-inning, that's what we played in Little League, wasn't it? Back to the 6-inning games. It was off to the concession stand for a Bub's Daddy. Did you have Bub's Daddy? Big long pieces of gum? Oh, they were great after a Little League game.
Bub's Dad.
Have you ever heard of Bub's Dad?
No, I haven't.
No, neither have I.
Come on.
But you drink pop too, don't you?
Oh, yeah, I would drink pop. I don't anymore. I drink soda and water.
Water. So you didn't have Bazooka, you had Bub's?
Bub's Daddies. They were awesome. Big ropes and gum. Great. The best. Go home with purple lips and teeth. I knew you played a baseball game that day.
1-1 game. It's an important game for the Yankees. I know they have. There's a lot of gum right there. They've got a slight chance still to get a postseason bid, but there aren't any more losses in their schedule. So 1-1, it's nail biting time here in the 7th inning. Strike 3. Hey, CeCe's done his job. He retires the side in order 1-2-3. He's allowed 1 run over 7 at the end of 6.5 innings of play. It's time for the 7th inning stretch here at Yankee Stadium, but we'll stay right here to honor America in the Bronx.
Ladies and gentlemen, please rise and remove your caps and direct your attention to the area behind home plate and welcome an honored guest of the New York Yankees, United States Air Force E-5 Sergeant Juan Garcia, who served in Operation Enduring Freedom and is also a Purple Heart recipient. The Yankees say thank you for your sacrifice and service to our nation. And now, ladies and gentlemen, please join in Kate Smith's rendition of God Bless America.
God bless America, land that I love. Stand beside her and guide her through the night with a light from above, from the mountains to the prairies, to the oceans, white with foam. God bless America, my home, sweet home.
And John and Meredith as well. Time for the game summary right here, brought to you by your local Nissan dealer. It's a 1-1 game, 6 hits for the Giants and an error, 4 for the Yankees. Soriano a solo home run. That's the only run for the Yanks. Perez an RBI double. In the third, the only run for the Giants. Sabathia has given them a strong 7 innings. Now we go to the bottom of the 7th inning, and Eduardo Nunez swings and misses. It'll be Nunez, Overbay, and Ryan against Lincecum.
Well, 2 dominant pitchers, and this feels a little bit like a National League game here, obviously, with the 10 combined hits.
Tapped out toward the right side.
Oh.
A seeing eye single. Belt made an attempt and then went back, and Arias thought Belt was going to get it, so it's a single for Nunez.
Well, I don't know whether they're just playing. Arias is playing a pull, and why Arias would give up. Look, the second baseman, he kind of gives up immediately, playing Nunez to pull, but if the first baseman goes into no man's land, the pitcher's covering first base. The second baseman should never give up on that ball. What's the point of giving up? Did not make a great effort, at least. I don't know if he'd had a shot at diving for it. That
ball has got to be caught. Bruce Bochy, you saw that, you know, his reaction. It's just like, you know, these are the kind of things that have put them in this position of the kind of year that they have.
Especially in a 1-1 game. Not to say that that kind of defense, that Gregor Blanco type of defense for the Giants and for Brett Hill.
Cadillac scoreboard 1-1. George Contos up in the pen. The 1-1. 2-1.
You see right here, if Tim Lincecum will continue to pitch backwards, you got a left-handed batter. Most of the night, Lincecum has shown that not afraid 2-1, 2-0 count to throw that changeup. He's got a little split finger changeup that dies down the way. Sanchez, there it is. Now it looks like a little slider or cutter, Paul, but it's the way it comes out of his hand. Watch this here. This is a changeup, but it has that goofy little spin. It almost has like slider spin, but it's more of a split finger forkball.
It gets a lot of drop on it. Usually it has a tendency to fade away from lefties, but more than a fade, it kind of drops, and you don't see that a lot with changeups.
There it is. Is it hard to sit on that?
You know what? I've never been able to do that. I mean, I always hit off a fastball, but you know, to sit on a changeup. If you looked at every one of those changeups, were out of the zone. So why sit on it? There's nothing to hit.
Well, you'll see it. If you're, I mean, are you staying back long enough to identify? Okay, I'm looking change. There it is. Ball.
Yeah, I think that, you know, if you're hitting off fastball and everything's all right, you see, you know, the location and you see it come out of his hand. You start to expect, you know, to give up on it because it ends up being a ball.
Ryan takes outside. Lincecum at 109 pitches. Ryan 1 for 2. Fly ball to center and a bloop single to left. Now as Baltimore trying to battle back. It's 3-2 Tampa Bay over the O's. Cleveland 2-1 over Houston. That's in the top of the 7th inning at Progressive Field. Dodgers told you 1-1. Texas and KC bottom of the 4th. Royals hanging tough. Runner goes. Pitches inside. Throw to second. Not in time. Stolen base for Nunez. It was not a good throw by Sanchez.
I was going to say, you know, Soriano got thrown out easily early in the game, but, you know, if your game plan was to run on Lincecum because he's had so many problems, just because one guy gets thrown out and you're in a big situation here, you still got to stick with him. And right there, that's not a good throw. You know, good throw has him, but, you know, Nunez press the issue, make everything. Oh, I'll tell you what, he's lucky right there.
He's out.
One right in the face.
Well, he's out.
Don't tell anybody. I thought him safe, all right?
It was a great pick. And you'll see he goes down on his back before the hand even touches the base.
Good break. You can see that the Yankees got a good break on a horrible throw there. He made a great pick. And because Nunez picked up what could have happened, the ball.
And that hits Ryan.
Well, this is the big situation you wait for. In a close game, you know, the big hit, you can win this game by 1 run. So right now, understand the Yankees, as a hitter, you got to realize, hey, this might be the season right here. I need to get a run in here. We need to win this game, and then we'll play tomorrow and see what happens.
Now, Dave Righetti, the pitching coach, will go out and talk with Lincecum. And Al, I know you have only great things to say about Dave Righetti, the former Yankee coach.
Michael, he was my mentor when I first got to the big leagues, the big league camp with the Yankees. Absolutely took me under his wing, and to this day with friends and get an opportunity to spend some time with him today. And what a great guy and a great pitching coach.
He's kind of a fan favorite here. That's the people love him.
Oh, my. Gets the no-hitter against the Red Sox on George Steinbrenner's birthday. Then he turned him into a closer when Goose Gossage got hurt. Two-time All-Star. Rookie of the Year in '81. Yeah, he was something else. Rags. So they're letting the rookie J.R. Murphy hit. We'll see how this turns out. You've got some guys on the bench, and he really is just a kid. He's 2 for 10 so far in the big leagues.
We got a lot of righty-righty matchups, and Reynolds or Wells would come to mind. And I don't know righty on righty if see the matchup, Michael.
Well, you've got Almonte, who's a switch hitter, and then obviously Al saying all the others are righties. Wells, Reynolds. You wouldn't use Romine. He's still suffering the effects of a concussion. David Adams, you wouldn't use. And Chris Stewart would move in behind the plate.
Yeah, Reynolds is 3 for 21, 143. To hit, of the 3 hits, one of them's a home run.
That's the Yankee bench. Gardner not available. That's still active. The 2-0. 3-0 on Murphy. Is it a little odd that no one's up in the Giant bullpen?
I don't know what happened to Contos. He was warming up.
Yeah, no one warming right now. Unless he's just ready watching.
Yeah, he's ready.
And there's a strike.
What if you're Nunez? He's missed so much with that changeup and that slider in the dirt. You've got to make sure that you get off, that you could read. You know, if you get a ricochet off that catcher, try to get to third base.
Grounded and grabbed there by Sandoval. Steps on the bag for 1. And the throw pulls Belt off the bag. Otherwise, it would have had 2.
Again, I mean, makes a great play. Easy double play. Made the hard part of it. But then, you know, an errant throw, you don't turn 2 here. You give the Yankees another opportunity. All the time in the world right here.
With J.R. Murphy, I thought for sure that's an easy double play. Here's the toughest part right here. Gets down to the knee, gets it. And then now here, just a firm throw across the diamond could not keep Brandon Belt off the bag.
I'll tell you, let's look around and wonder what's going on. Ball goes through the right side to start off the inning. Second baseman gives up. And right there, another out. So, you know, basically you've given the Yankees 4 outs at this point.
Ichiro takes low, 1-0. Wow, his high is 148.
I think that was a no-hitter.
Yeah, that was a no-hitter.
It's the Padres.
Hey, David Cohn right there, 148. There's a pitch right there as a hitter, and you see something in it. Just realize you don't want to see anything hanging in the middle of the plate. And that ball had a lot of the plate up in the zone. You don't see too many of these runs come all night.
So hanging slider. Now he's in a fastball count. You have Alex on deck in a 1-1 game. CC's pitching great. Does he go after Ichiro? No. They pull the string. That's the confidence of the guy who trusts in all of his pitches. Michael Kickham now warming up with George Contos.
Change up. He's really lost location on that. And right here, Al, I mean, you can't give him and just give him the four-seamer down the middle. You have to realize that you're still trying to make a pitch.
And the bases are loaded for A-Rod. And Bochy is going to go to the bullpen. Lincecum with 121 pitches. It's the most he's thrown this season besides the no-hitter. So they're going to go to Contos to face A-Rod. A-Rod's 0 for 3 tonight, 1 for his last 25. Bases loaded, 2 outs. Come on back. Then on Sunday, our coverage starts with the pregame at noon, the game broadcast at 1, and it all leads up to the premiere of our Mariano Rivera Exit Sandman special immediately following the game on Yes. Well, the Giants lift Lincecum and make the call to the bullpen, brought to you by AT&T. And we will see George Contos.
Yankee farmhand was traded for Chris Stewart last year, beginning of the year. Has been used a good amount, 48 games, right in the mix for the bullpen for Bruce Bochy and the Giants. I know that last inning, Paul, you know, the pitch count was up. It almost looked like Lincecum was pitching what he wanted to do. He was going to make Ichiro swing at his off-speed pitch. But you think about where the Giants are, they're out of it. I'm not saying you're conceding in any way for Bruce Bochy, but Lincecum being one of your main starters, I'm curious how he didn't give him a chance to at least pitch to Alex.
You know, you think about some of the scenarios. You walk out, you call the bullpen, or you walk out and you say, hey, do you want this guy? You've got enough in there. And you read your pitcher.
Right. It's Tim Lincecum. We're not talking about a guy who just got called up a couple years ago. Well, we'll see how it works out.
So he's a spectator, just like the other 41,734 here in the ballpark. And it walks Contos against A-Rod. Bases loaded with the Yankees. It's a 1-1 game, bottom of the 7th inning. So a quick conference between Sanchez and Contos. This copyrighted telecast presented by authority of the New York Yankees that may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. The accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the New York Yankees.
That's an agonizing spot right there. You're starting pitcher, you pitched a good game, your season has been so-so. And now you've got nothing but hoping that your reliever doesn't give up a big hit here.
Swing and a miss. Great numbers with the bases loaded. I believe that since he came back, this is the first time A-Rod has batted with the bases loaded. So he is tied with Lou Gehrig for the most grand slams in Major League history. One. 2-1. Manny Ramirez with 21, Eddie Murray with 19.
Seemed like every pitch takes 15 minutes over there. Just waiting and waiting.
Fly ball, right field. Pence back. Track. Wall. See ya. A grand slam for A-Rod. A record-breaking 24th grand slam. And the Yankees lead 5-1. Well, you were wondering, we were wondering, why keep him in if he can't drive the ball, but that short corner of the ballpark, he was able to drive the ball out. A big grand slam.
I'll tell you what, again, ball up in the zone, just a flick of the wrist out in front, but hit it on the barrel, and look, he knew he got it. Front side's open, strong enough to shoot it out here to right center. Huge grand slam. Big. I mean, here you are 1-1, 2 outs. Next thing it's 5-1. I saw Tim Lincecum what he thought about it as he stormed out of the dugout. I mean, it's got to be frustrating that he felt like he was probably one pitch away from getting out of it.
Gosh, I mean, the follow through, at contact and follow through, I didn't think it was a home run.
I'll tell you what, he stood up. He knew he got it. I mean, there's just a feeling of hitting it on the barrel. You know where you hit it, out in right center.
Driven the other way out the bat of Cano. Foul ball. Well, he was done after that. Al, can you allow yourself as a pitcher to think, I could have done that?
Well, no, you got to be careful for one. I don't know what the rule is, but the rule for the teams that I was on, that you wouldn't be allowed to do that. You just have to just sit there and take it until the inning's over. You know, the whole idea of you don't want to show up your teammates or.
Grounded up the middle, grabbed there by Arias. And that will do it. But Alex Rodriguez came into that at bat, one for his last 25. Has almost been hapless at the plate. But with this swing, he breaks a 1-1 tie, breaks a tie with Lou Gehrig, gives the Yankees a 5-1 lead. more entertaining with America's fastest, most reliable internet that's powerful. And it's Ryan Vogelsong against Ivan Nova. The game's going to be on Fox at 1. And then right after the game, Yankee extra innings on Yes. And the whole gang, Bob Lorenz, Jack Curry, John Flaherty, and Meredith Morakovitz will give you everything you need to know on Game 2 of this 3-game set.
Well, CC's got a little breathing room. 102 pitches. Great effort.
Tony Abreu pinch hitting for Joaquin Arias. Hyundai scoreboard. 5-1 Yankees over the Giants. Now the Rodriguez Grand Slam. It's his 24th Grand Slam. And no one's ever had more in a big league career. But there's a bit of unease on my part saying he broke a tie with Lou Gehrig. But the numbers are what the numbers are. Now, you interpret them the way you want. We know that Alex has admitted to the 3 years of performance-enhancing drug use while he was in Texas. He's presently appealing a 211-game suspension for suspected PED use. So, again, the numbers are what the numbers are. And you put him ahead of who you want. You say it's not legitimate, but we're just reporting the facts. He has 24, Lou Gehrig has 23.
Right.
Line drive, a base hit to left field. Pinch hit single for Abreu. And what's sad about having to say that and having to make every statement with an asterisk with Alex is that, Alex is appealing a 211-game suspension, so you pretty much darn believe that he's playing clean. And he's still able to hit home runs. And before he hurt his legs, he's still an excellent player. So you always wonder, what if none of that stuff, would he still be a great player? And he probably would be.
Oh, yeah.
But I don't know if it's to that level.
Well, I mean, look, I think through that whole period of time prior to 2004 when testing started, there's no doubt that it helps, I guess, mediocre players be good players be great, and great players be Hall of Famers.
Here's Juan Perez, runner on first base, nobody out. We're in the 8th inning. It's 5-1 Yanks. Playing catch with Overbay. And lifetime for Alex is its 654th home run. And that's 6 away from tying the great Willie Mays. So that catch there with Overbay was called from the bench so that the bullpen could get more work. And CC Sabathia gave the Yankees a very, very good effort. He leaves the game, leading 5-1, runner on first base, nobody out. And listen to the hand he gets.
Where you go, available for iPhone, iPad, Android, and BlackBerry 10. At Bat delivers Yankees baseball with live audio, pitch tracking, stats, news, highlights, and more. Text at Bat to 31826 or visit Yankees.com for details. How was that?
That was excellent.
It was good.
That was very good. Yeah.
Smooth.
Just looking at that, thinking, what if you heard that 10 years ago? You wouldn't know what half this stuff was. Right?
Half the stuff wouldn't be invented.
But then you couldn't know about
That's
it.
right. iPhone would sound like somebody with bad grammar talking about their phone. So Sabathia gives them what they've been looking for from CeCe, an ace-like performance in a game that the Yankees have to win. And now he will watch as David Robertson is going to pitch the remainder of the 8th inning. The Yankees hope. Let's take a look at Alex Rodriguez's swing on the grand slam, and we'll take a look at it via Yes View.
Well, two things happened here that were good. The ball hit the barrel of his bat, and he got somewhat extended, and he hit it to right center field. Other than that, it's a little off balance, but it just goes to show you how strong he is. He gets a pitch away that he can drive that way.
So runner on first. Juan Perez at the plate. Blocked there by J.R. Murphy, 1-0.
How many grand slams was it?
24 now.
24 grand slams. Yeah. 4 maybe? 5? Not a lot.
66 game for Robertson. One and one.
What's a huge amount of games for a bullpen? 66. It seems like a lot of games, huh? You can pitch over half, though, from a bullpen, huh? The 80s?
80s is a lot. You know what? I don't know what the number is. I think there have been relievers pitching half the time. They're usually guys that get a couple outs.
That'll be 2. Turned beautifully. 4-6-3. So 2 outs here in the 8th inning. We looked it up, Paul. You had 5 career grand slams. Mariano, it's not a save situation, but he is up. There's Brandon Belt. Belt 1 for 3. And a strike. Right in on the hands, 0-2.
You see Robertson, every once in a while he comes in with that cutter, and that ball has that movement you're used to seeing Mariano, and that right there, 91, right on the inside corner. Tough pitch to handle for a lefty.
Well, how many guys over the years have come to this bullpen, learned the cutter, and has made it an integral part of their repertoire? Robertson, most recent, no doubt. That's not an accident. It's not a guy getting around a fastball and just happens to cut. Mo is like another coach down there. Guys pick his brain. How do you hold it? What do you do? Play catch. Because really, when you remember when David Robertson first got on the scene in the big leagues, he was straight, 4-seam, over the top, gas with a big hook. Right. And now, you know, you're seeing that cutter.
The only thing that worries me about the cutter is that guys fall in love with it and they lose a little bit of their fastball.
Oh, yeah.
And all of a sudden, then you have a mediocre cutter and you don't have a good fastball to go back to because you've lost it. And you just can't. Not everybody is built to throw a cut fastball. I mean, some people are great at it, and there's nothing worse to a pitcher, nothing better to a batter than a mediocre cutter. It's just a little hanging slider right there.
No, that's a great point, because it's a different way you finish. On a cutter, you don't get the same extension in your arm pronates as opposed to cutting the ball.
It's See that ball right there, that's nasty. That's just a sharp breaking ball in on the hand, so he's really mixed it up here.
And the other part of it, Paul, is that this pitch here, very few guys have a good slider, cutter, curveball combination. You kind of lose your break, that 12-6 on the curveball, because the cutter comes out a little differently than the curveball.
Fouled away.
That's why when you talk to Mo and you say, how do you hold it? He basically shows his four-seam fastball. And then you say, well, what do you do to make a cut? He goes, nothing. It's just, it was natural for Mo. The way his delivery came out of his hand. You know, so for other guys to ask Mariano, hey, how do you hold it? How do you throw it? It is just a natural throw for him.
The 3-2. He walked him. So Belt works a walk.
You know, if you look at that last at bat, that's a prime example of what we were talking about. He used so many pitches in that at bat. He used a cutter, he used a curveball, he used a short slider, and then when he needed to throw a strike, he went back to his fastball and he lost control of it. And it's ball four. So sometimes, as a pitcher, when you have that many good pitches, sometimes you can outthink yourself.
Swing and a miss.
Buster Posey, you talked about how he's been in a horrible slump. He's all the way down to 299. Got a hit last time up, back up to 300. The worst thing you want to do as a hitter is hit 300 all year and then go into a slump and don't finish there right at the end of the year.
Here's the pitch breakdown according to Fangraphs of what Robertson's thrown.
Wow. Now, if you look at that, Al, and you're the bullpen coach, you're the pitching coach, whatever, and Robertson does become your closer next year. Mariano's gone. Do you eliminate a couple of those and say, hey, you've got to stick with this, and that's it?
I think that's a fair conversation, because when you think about David Robertson coming onto the scene a couple years ago, 70 appearances, he had an ERA right over 1. Larry Rothschild, the pitching coach, looking on. I would find which of the secondary pitches do you feel most comfortable and what is the most dominant. You cannot lose your fastball. Right. You know, to be a closer, I mean, there's very few guys over the years. First guy to come to mind is Doug Jones. I know Johnny Franco had a better fastball, but he was a changeup guy. So there's a curveball. But to have a curveball slider combination, hopefully J.R. Murphy's okay there.
Keep talking. It hurts looking at me.
Buster Posey can sympathize.
The 1-2. 2-2.
Because still, even I remember conversations with Greg Maddux, who wasn't the most overpowering, but as far as I'm concerned, the best pitcher I've ever seen live. Pitcher. You know, he said everything still comes off your fastball. So, you know, to be a guy that's constantly trying to trick, you're going to get bad counts. A lot of at-bats.
Strike 3. Posey down looking. Does not like the call. No runs a hit. No errors and one man left on base. We go to the bottom of the 8th inning. Yankees up in this one 5-1. recap this matchup and give you the latest updates on baseball's playoff races. Plus, Meredith Morakovitz has the team's reaction from the clubhouse. It's the WB Mason postgame, only on Yes. We'd like to have that gentleman take the fly off our lens, but he's not doing it.
To get a towel.
He's looking right at him. Oh, to be a fly on the wall.
Hey. Knock, knock.
Wow, they were all over the place. Maybe a little bitty off, I'm not sure. But it's ruining the shot. Let's put it at that. So there's a new pitcher. It's Heath Hembry taking over for George Contos. And Hembry, in his 5th game, is going to face Soriano, Granderson, and Nunez. Hyundai scoreboard 5-1.
Well, you still go back to that, Lincecum, all of a sudden, bases loaded, he needs 1 out, you go to the bullpen, you give up that grand slam. And I know as a manager, you try to do the best thing, and we've talked about Bruce Bochy, one of the better managers in baseball. But, if you're Lincecum, you know what kind of outing you had, you want that opportunity to try to get out of that inning.
Well, you also had a guy that was dominating, and I always felt, well, there's a reason why your starters are starters, because they're guys that have the ability to flip lineups over. But he was pitching well enough to where I think, especially where the Giants are. I mean, I get you got to use your bullpen and pitch count, and Lincecum will have maybe one more start. Last place club. When I think about that, I think about a guy who played with Jack Morris. His comments to Sparky Anderson. Very confident, saying, even on my 100th and whatever pitch, as he's coming out, he goes, it's better than the guy that you're bringing in.
Yeah.
I mean, Jack used to say stuff like that to Sparky when he was at Detroit. Are you kidding me? You're going to bring him in?
Michael, I think I told you, Don Zimmer, when he's managing in Chicago, Rick Sutcliffe had given up a couple home runs, and they'd shoot the fireworks off the river in Cincinnati. And they were up about 9-1 or so. We hit a couple home runs. Here comes Zim out to talk to Sutcliffe. And Sutcliffe, you can't take me out of this game. He's hollering at him the whole way out there. Zim gets to the mound. He's like, I'm not taking you out of this game. I'm just giving him a chance to reload back there. Turned around and walked back to the dugout. Only Zim could get away with that.
Hembry strikes out Soriano. That'll bring up Granderson. We just saw that Baltimore's tied Tampa Bay 3-3 top of the 7th. And many people are split on how you root for that if you're a Yankee fan. But the Yankees are chasing both of those teams, so they're going to gain ground on somebody in front of them, but they're running out of time, and they have to jump over several teams.
That's the big problem. Is he clean it?
Here we go. Here we go. He put on his helmet to do it in case that bug wants to come after him.
Thank you. Nobody out in the 7th inning for the Orioles, and Chris Davis is up with 2 on.
Yeah, Michael, you mentioned it. It's different if you're just chasing the Orioles or Tampa Bay. But you have Kansas City and Cleveland, and you include Texas in there, that are all in front of the Yankees right now.
It's so easy to get ahead of yourself if you're with the Yankees. We got to win. We got to do well against Tampa Bay. No, you've got to win tonight.
Yep.
You show up, you've got to win tomorrow. You cannot look ahead to any series. Every single game right now, you basically, Michael, you said it, you got to win out. You have to have that mindset. And at this time of the year, it's possible. You can't say that in June and then think you're going to win, 70 games in a row. But when you start counting down, you see 8-9 games, you could get on a hot streak and put yourself in a position where you can get back in this thing. But you know, it comes down to you need good pitching every night, and you need some quality hitting.
Well, they got the great pitching tonight from Sabathia, the clutch hitting from A-Rod, and they're up 5-1, bottom of the 8th inning. Double-barreled action in the bullpen. You've got Kelly and Rivera.
You know what, Michael, you said it right there. Those are the names that you want to be talking about. I mean, you got a great performance by Sabathia and a grand slam from A-Rod. I mean, that's like turning back the clock 4 or 5 years when the Yankees were getting ready to go into the playoffs.
Fly ball, right center for the second out. Well, to vote for the Chevy Player of the Game, visit votechevy.com. Results will be revealed in the post-game show.
Well, I thought you were going to mention, Paul, that every game is a Game 7. You know, this is not that it's absolutely do or die until you're officially eliminated, but you go into the game as they did tonight. You mentioned about it's turning back the clock. CC puts in a great performance. Alex gets the big key home run. I mean, I don't know how you feel, Michael, but I think, you know, obviously it's this game, and tomorrow will be the same thing in Game 7, but I think they have to win out. And even then,
and if you win out,
and I said 89 wins.
Yeah.
You know, 89 wins, will that get it? I don't know.
It'd be close. You're talking about must-wins, and Marv Levy, the former coach of the Bills, used to have a great line. He said, there was really only one must-win in life, and that was World War II. Everything else kind of...
Yeah, you do go home and come back next year, but I tell you one thing, you're in such a city that's so used to just winning and going to the playoffs that it's just expected, you know.
And a lot of people don't feel comfortable saying must unless it's a mathematical must. So, you know, there's 9 games remaining, and you're still far fewer than 9 games back, but there's so many permutations of teams that you have to jump over, and just the right people have to lose. They've got a shot. Right. You know? They've got a shot. Not a great shot, but it's a shot. 2-2 on Nunez. And Nunez swings and misses, so a strong inning for Hembry. All right, we're going to the 9th. Who's coming in? Is it Kelly or Mo? Yankees have a 5-1 lead. precious few, including tonight. The Yankees have 6 home games remaining. 6 home games where you could possibly see Mariano Rivera in his final regular season games here in the Bronx. The Yankees are hoping that there's some postseason action, but we know what's on the schedule. 3 games against the Giants, 3 games against the Tampa Bay Rays. So although it's not a safe situation, Mo comes in here to get the final 3 outs in the ninth. 62nd game. 44 out of 51. And he will face Pence, Sandoval, and Sanchez.
Reynolds taking over at third base after Nunez made some good plays out there tonight. But I tell you what, Mariano, you don't say this very often, but he got away with a mistake. That was a kind of a hanging cutter over the middle of the plate. And then he comes back to his usual nastiness. See, this first pitch, Pence had a good swing, and this ball's right over the middle of the plate and just kind of hangs there. Just don't see that very much from Mariano.
Hunter Pence was taking a step backward to head to the dugout.
Every once in a while you get 4 strikes up there. Wow.
Strike 3. Pence down looking. 1 away.
He pounded the body line on Hunter Pence, but the previous pitch that looked like a strike, Dana DeMuth called it a ball, was a straight fastball or 2-seamer. Watch this ball cut. So not only does he throw the cutter away on the righty or in on the lefty, here's the nice grip. See the rotation, kind of a side to right to left spin. Great pitch.
Here's Sandoval. And a strike.
One thing I have noticed, and I almost text you in Boston, is he has thrown that backdoor cutter to lefties much more than he used to. It used to be, I don't care if you know what's coming, inside cutter every single pitch. And he has backdoored that thing a lot more, and I'm trying to figure out why. That's the nasty one right in on his hands.
Before the game, the Gray Line Tour Bus Company has a Mariano Rivera Gray Line Tour Bus. And look who stepped off the bus, Mo.
Oh, he's got his own bus now?
Yeah, he does. Wow. And you're the all-time greatest, as it says.
You get a bus?
Yeah. He's the GOAT, greatest of all time. Here's Hector Sanchez. Giants down to their final out. 1-0. Ground ball to first, flip to Mo, and that'll do it. The Yankees win this one 5-1. Mo works a 1-2-3 ninth inning. We got to stick around for the postgame show to find out who's tonight's Chevy Player of the Game. Alex Rodriguez with a grand slam that breaks a tie with Lou Gehrig for the most in baseball history. Now has 24, but it was important for the Yankees tonight because it broke a 1-1 tie. CC Sabathia with 7 strong innings. David Robertson pitched the 8th, and Mariano pitched the 9th. So 1 down. They have 8 more games to go. And the key is they've got to keep winning now.
Yeah, there's no doubt about it, Michael. And this is the way you do it. You know, they're in the position they are. You get it. The whole wild card has made it interesting. The 2 wild cards, the Yankees have to keep fighting, and tomorrow is their game 7. In my opinion, win it out. See how it all plays out on the last day of the season.
So Alex Rodriguez, who was 1 for 25 coming into that at bat against George Contos in the 7th, hits a grand slam over the wall in right field, gives the Yankees a 5-1 lead. And Meredith Morakovitz has Alex down on the field. Meredith?
Alex, your home run in the 7th, obviously the difference maker in this one. You stepped to the plate with 2 outs and the bases loaded, having never faced contests before. What was the scouting report going into that one?
Well, I know Georgie played here. He came up here, and it's funny, we had a discussion before the game. He's a great kid, and just a big hit for us. There were some great at-bats that inning prior to me, especially Ichiro's, to lead up to the Grand Slam.
You look at that Grand Slam for you, the 24th of your career. You passed Lou Gehrig. You're now Major League Baseball's all-time leader. And coming into that at-bat, you were just 1 for your last 25. How bad, scoreboard aside, did you need a big hit like that?
Well, I needed to do something productive. My team needed a big hit. We needed these wins, obviously. Every game is so important, and maybe that hit can get us going, too.
It looked like it started with the starting pitching tonight in CC Sabathia. How much did he look like the old CC?
I thought CC's been pitching a lot better the last few days. I think he's gaining a lot of confidence. I see his fastball coming back, good slider and a good changeup, and that was vintage CC for us tonight.
You mentioned in Toronto, look, we're not going to get any mulligans for these. We need to start winning now. How difficult is it with where you're at in the season to not pay attention what the teams that you have to skip over are doing and just focus on yourselves?
Well, it's hard to do. I mean, everyone is scoreboard watching, no matter what they say, but you know, we just got to focus on winning games and winning as many games as we can.
Alex, thanks for the time. Congratulations on the win.
Thank you.
Michael, send it back up to you and the guys in the booth.
All right, thank you, Meredith, and thank you to Alex. So Alex with a historic home run for him and a big home run for the Yankees on this Friday night in the Bronx. Yankees win a must-needed game. They beat the Giants 5-1. We'll be back with an award in the postgame.